I say we're done.
Hello, my beautiful movie people. Thank you so much for clicking on another episode of Side Flick. My name is Chris. Let's dive into some of the movie news we're going to discuss here today. Some of the stuff we're going to be talking about is catching up on a whole bunch of trailers that have been coming out the past couple of days. That'll include John Wick 4, Christopher Nolan's new Oppenheimer film, the first look at the monsters that'll be included in the upcoming Spirit of Halloween movie, updates on Avenger movies like the Kang Dynasty, and Kevin Feige talking about Fantastic Four. Really, that along with so much more. So many of you movie fans to give me your opinions down below with everything we discuss here today. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and start diving into some of these trailers and start rating them on whether they're trash or treasure. Starting off here with John Wick 4. This is one trailer you guys wanted me to talk about. It was a trailer that was dropped during Comic-Con and it was just a busy mess for me, so I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but now talking about it here, oh, I'm excited for this movie. One thing though, this is just like a slight annoyance on my part. I like how all the John Wick movies were just being called John Wick Chapter 2, 3, or 4, but then randomly John Wick 3 was John Wick 3 Parabellum. I don't know, that just randomly messes up the flow for me. But aside from that, I have to give this a treasure because this movie just looks like a blast. I love the John Wick franchise, such rich lore. Keanu Reeves just really nails Wick, and I think it'll be one of the roles he's most famous for, even outbeating The Matrix. Yeah, you heard me. The only reservations I have with John Wick 4 is the same stuff that was kind of coming up in John Wick 3, where I was starting to feel like John Wick himself was just invincible and nothing could kill him, nothing can harm him. He is just a non-stoppable machine, which I know that's kind of the point and the fun of John Wick. He's supposed to be this ultimate assassin, but when the movie ended with him falling off like a 3-story building and him perfectly surviving, I was like, all right, I don't know if I could ever feel like this guy's ever in any danger because he just survives anything. So I kind of hope they kind of scale back a little bit, humanize this guy, and not make me think he's made out of vibranium or something. Still, really awesome, and I think they already confirmed John Wick 5, so we'll see how this goes. The next trailer here is probably one not a lot of people are talking about, but I am excited for. You might have seen the horror movie earlier this year, X. It was an A24 horror movie with Jenna Ortega in it. I recommend it. I had a good time with it. It was like a great balance of a slasher movie with some doses of elevated horror thrown in there. And well, this is now the prequel movie to that film where we're following the young old lady that was going around killing people, Pearl, as we go back to see the first time she was slashing bodies. And I like this, man. I think Mia Goth looks great in it. I love the setting. They had a really interesting and disgusting story in that first movie that I kind of want to see the beginnings of it. So I'm gonna give this one a treasure, and it's a horror movie from A24 I'm looking forward to. Another trailer that was released yesterday is for the latest Sylvester Stallone superhero movie. Now this movie will be going straight to Amazon Prime, and it's called Samaritan. Main reason I'm talking about it is because I just like Sylvester Stallone. I also think this is an interesting idea for Sylvester Stallone. Is basically he was a superhero a long time ago, then he gave up that life, and now it's been rediscovered who he is. It feels like this is Sylvester Stallone's version of trying to mix in a classic 80s, 90s action movie with today's modern superhero action films. And for that reason alone, I'm willing to check it out and see how it goes, but I gotta admit, this trailer really did not get me. Even though the premise is cool, it still feels kind of rehashed. I feel like I have actually kind of seen this done before a little bit. I don't know. I'm hoping the movie surprises me, but I gotta be honest, for right now, I'm gonna have to give it trash because I was looking forward to this movie and then watching the trailer, it didn't really excite me. And then, of course, the trailer all the film bros are gonna be talking about today. Christopher Nolan dropped his first look at his upcoming movie, Oppenheimer, where it follows the story of the man who created the atomic bomb with just a stacked cast of so many celebrities in here. And in true Christopher Nolan fashion, he just knows how to build up suspense. You already know who's the director. You got an idea of the premise. You've been hearing all these casting announcements, so let me just give you a trailer to show off some of the suspense that'll be going down in this movie. And he kind of nails it with this timer in the background, the little black and white setting, the music that's swelling up. I mean, it's a Christopher Nolan movie. You know it's going to be done really well, and this was really just a teaser to let you know the movie's up and coming. So I'm definitely going to give it a treasure just because I am looking forward to this. But let me tell you, this and Barbie come out on the same day. I'm choosing Barbie, man. I'm sorry, Mr. Nolan. Let me know what you guys think of some of the trailers that were released recently and which ones interested you and which ones didn't. But with those trailers out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into our movie news stories here today. And we're going to be talking about the upcoming Spirit Halloween movie. And yes, I am talking about those chains of Halloween stores that pop up around the Spooky Mama month. We found out that they are going to be making a live action movie with the premise that follows a group of kids that were dared to spend the night at a Spirit Halloween, only to find out the animatronics in there are going to come to life and start killing them. And well, on their Instagram, they recently revealed some of the animatronics you can expect to see that'll be coming to life. Now, I already know people are gonna hit me with the Five Nights at Freddy's comparison, but from my understanding, they won't stay as animatronics. Like, they'll literally come to life, like Night of the Museum style. I don't know if that makes it that different for you, but there you go, just in case you were wondering. And one we have here, Buzzsaw, which I gotta admit, this is actually like a really cool design. I actually do remember seeing this animatronic when I walk into Spirit Halloween, and I think that's a lot of the point of what they're trying to do here, is create a bigger brand and a motive for people to go to their store this Halloween, which is also why the movie will still be kind of family friendly, so don't be expecting a whole lot of blood and gore. Then we also got revealed Mr. Dark. That's another great looking one. I like the design here. I just hope it translates well in live action, along with another fun one here of Nightcrawler. Now this one looks creepy. I can't wait to see how that one plays out in live action form. I'm not expecting a whole lot from this movie, but maybe the trailers will change my mind. With that said, it is supposed to be coming out with the grand opening of one of their first Spirit of Halloween stores, which is July 30th. So this Saturday, be on the lookout for the trailer for Spirit Halloween, and you let me know if you're gonna watch it. Alright, now moving on to some superhero talk that's been happening the past couple of days here. We finally got the director announced for Avengers Kang Dynasty. It got revealed and basically confirmed because most of the Marvel actors have congratulated this person on social media that Destin Daniel Cretton, who did Shang-Chi, will be the director for Avengers the Kang Dynasty. Now, as I'm going through this, it should also be noted that they have it here in the article that even though they are the director of the Kang Dynasty, Marvel does plan to have a different director for Secret Wars, which I think just kind of letting you know how different of a movie Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars are gonna kind of be. But as far as this goes, oh man, excellent choice. I did not think of this person. I know a lot of people wanted the Russo brothers back, but it's like, one, Marvel likes to keep things fresh and different and experiment. I think Kevin Feige knows if you keep the same director on for a lot of these movies, it starts to get stale after a while. But most importantly, if the Russo brothers came back, this would have been their 5th film after Endgame. You would have had to keep upping up their paycheck, and Marvel's being stingy lately. But with this director who did Shang-Chi, which I think is the best movie in Phase 4, yes, I know, Spider-Man No Way Home is also in Phase 4, but let's be honest, Spider-Man fans, what carried that movie? What? Toby, Andrew, nostalgia, the feels. Of course, it was also a good movie, but if we put that glorious movie aside, Shang-Chi was the last movie that I walked out of going, man, I'm excited to see this character again. The MCU just got rich with more lore. I can't wait. And when I walked out of Doctor Strange and Thor Love and Thunder, I might have liked those movies, but I was more thinking about the flaws within them, how this affects the MCU. It also had a lot of people questioning what was the point of this phase, which is probably why Feige revealed these Avenger movie titles, so fans could stop complaining and know exactly what the finish line is supposed to be, which, let's admit it, now that we do know, it is kind of clear where we're headed. Also, fight scenes are about to go crazy because Shang-Chi had some of the best fight scenes, not only hand to hand, but like that dragon fight or even some of the CGI fights, including the 10 rings. All of that was done really cool, and I can't wait to see this director have his hands on other characters. So very much happy with this choice, and I can't wait to see what the Kang Dynasty holds for us, and Shang-Chi too, because now with this director on board, I feel like Shang-Chi 2 is going to be very important. Moving on from there, we have sort of, kind of, not really leaks for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Since this Sony animated movie was set to be released this October before it got delayed, if you go to your local store right now, you might actually see toys for the upcoming movie, one of which has revealed a new Spider-Man character we can expect to see in the film. They have yet to reveal a lot of the upcoming Spider-Man variants in here, but one of them we now know will be Hobby Brown, aka Spider-Punk. We have here some photos of people who found the mask with spikes on it, and even his guitar that shoots out web. I hope that's part of the movie because that's kind of a cool idea. And honestly, this is a great character to introduce in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Heck, it was one of my top 10 that I wanted included in the sequel. Not only is this version of Spider-Man already just have such a rockin' design, no pun intended, but just thinking visually what they can creatively do with his guitar, the sound, the music, the animation. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. This Spider-Man fighting villains with a guitar? Who wouldn't want to see that? Even more so when we know they're going to change the animation style in whatever world they hop into, so he comes from a world where everyone is punk rock, and I think that's going to be kind of cool to see if we get that. Still, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other characters we have yet to see from Spider-Man. This is being one of them. I'm happy with it. I throw it off to you guys. How do you feel about Spider-Punk being included in the next Spider-Verse movie? Moving on here, talking about some Fantastic Four, good old Kevin Feige gave us an update on the movie that kind of surprised me. In an article with The Hollywood Reporter talking about the future of the MCU and some of their movies, specifically mentioning the Fantastic Four, they have it here. Feige compared Marvel's new take on the heroes to its pact with Sony to bring Spider-Man into the MCU, noting this will not be an origin story. A lot of people know this origin. A lot of people know the basics. How do we take that and bring something we've never seen before? Said Feige, who added that given the superhero team launched the Marvel comic universe back in 1961, we've set a very high bar for ourselves with bringing that to the screen. And a couple thoughts on that. There's a lot of people out there that heard Kevin Feige say the new Fantastic Four movie that'll start Phase 6 will not be an origin story, and they were cheering, clapping, going up and down. And I don't blame them. Most of these people are comic book fans or fans of the previous Fantastic Four movies, so they have a pretty good idea of how the Fantastic Four became the Fantastic Four. But I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed. I really wanted to see the MCU's origin for the Fantastic Four. Because yes, when it comes to characters like Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, if you walk up to any random stranger on the street and ask for their origin, 10 times out of 10, I think those are the characters that people just know right away. Bitten by a radioactive spider, parents died in an alley, last son of Krypton. But if you go up to 10 random people and ask them, how did the Fantastic Four get their powers? I think you'd get about 10 different answers. I don't think the Fantastic Four origin is as commonly known as Feige thinks it is. So that's why I thought maybe they would make it an origin story. This also just begs the question, then fine, if when we get the Fantastic Four movie and they already got their powers, where y'all been? Sure, maybe they didn't have them during Endgame or Infinity War, but if they just randomly had them, it's like, why did they choose not to show up? Some theories have it that maybe they're lost in the quantum realm or trapped in the negative zone, and then they'll be popping out later. I guess we'll really have to wait and see. I still think they're going to touch upon the origin at least a little bit in the movie, whether through flashbacks or just like a quick sentence. I think what Feige mainly means is this movie will not be all taken up by the origin. And I guess on that aspect alone, I am happy because it just gives us more time to see Mr. Fantastic with his stretchy powers, Sue turn invisible, the Thing being the Thing. But that's where I throw it off to you guys. You hear Kevin Feige say that the Fantastic Four will not be an origin story. Do you think that's a smart move, or do you think they should have done the origin? But that is all the movie news we currently got going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.